Thursday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroy Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned on this Thursday, the 20th day of November. Happy to be here. It's been a busy morning here already. Getting a bunch of stuff done for the end of the week. Having a good time. Today, I'm getting a couple of last-minute clips put in there. We're going to make an interesting comparison. Oh, and by the way, I want to say this off the bat. First of all, great job by Hannah with Good Morning, Hannah Faulkner with Good Morning LFA today. That was awesome, holding it down bright and early. Who doesn't love a bright and early dose of one of the most energetic young Americans in the game right now?
She's
who doesn't
so
love
cute.
Who doesn't love
I just love
Who doesn't love a bright and early, first thing in the morning dose of Hannah Faulkner, getting you up, getting you going? That's all most people need. That's all most people need. So there you go. I want to put this up there because I know that I know Hannah's not a fan of these people. And I just I need some help here, folks. I need some help with words. And well, Let me just pop this up on the screen, okay? Because this was making the rounds yesterday on X, and you know when I'm proven right on something, or when I can come back and turn around and say, "Hey, look, if you were listening not too long ago, you'd remember when I said X, Y, and Z." I'm going to show you this right now. There's a Nick Fuentes. Remember Nick Fuentes, the Groypers? These people, they don't know what it's like to go outside.
What is that name?
Groyper? It's just a weird thing.
What?
But he says progressive Democrats and nationalist Republicans need to work together. The left will have to give up on immigration and the right on the free market. That would be a popular compromise and a blueprint to remove support for Israel. So everything revolves around Israel. But progressive Democrats, folks, can I ask you a question in the chat? Just real quick. Progressive Democrats, right? Progressive Democrats. What type of government do they believe in? Socialism. Brennan's got it.
I got
Socialism.
on the first try.
Okay. So progressive Democrats are socialists, right? Progressive Democrats are socialists. Follow me. So he's talking about nationalist Republicans working with progressive Democrats, which we just said are socialists. Okay. National socialism. I feel like there's a word for that. What is the common term used when talking about national socialism? Does anybody have a guess here? Brennan, do you know what the common term, do you know what the shortened term for national socialism is?
NATO.
No, that's not it. It's almost the first two letters are right. National socialism. Kemley. Boom. Nazi.
Oh, Kim, I was not even...
Nazi. Yes. Thank you. Nazi. Hello. In Germany, the National Socialist German Workers' Party was the Nazi Party. Nazi, that's the word. Okay, now, I know that the Groypers and the folks over on the woke right are going to be like, what's wrong with Nazis? Hitler had to write it. That's the problem. This is what I've been trying to show you people. And I keep getting, well, you and Nick probably agree on most. I don't agree with working with socialism and giving up on the free market. Thank you very much. No, I don't agree with that. Well, what kind of policy proposals does Nick have that are left-leaning? Hello? And so I'm supposed to abandon the free market because you don't like Jews? I'm supposed to give up on the free market because you don't like a country the size of New Jersey in the Middle East? I'm supposed to abandon free market capitalist principles and work with socialists?
No.
So wait. So let's take a 30,000 foot view here one more time on what Fuentes is saying. Nick Fuentes is saying that nationalists and socialists should work together to remove support for the only Jewish state in the world. So nationalists and socialists working together at the expense and detriment of Israel and the Jews. That sounds oddly familiar to what happened in Germany in the 1930s and the 1940s. And if you're like, well, you're just like the left, calling people on the right Nazis, he's admitting to supporting National Socialism. It's what Nazi stands for. Okay. I just figured I'd put that out there because the mask is off. They've pulled the mask off. It's pretty simple now, right? It's pretty easy to tell. There's no gray area anymore. Nationalists and socialists should form a coalition. Where have we seen that before? Thank you. All right.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. If anyone needs any more proof that Nick Fuentes is either an op or a leftist, there it is. Now, for the rest of you who decide it's a good idea to follow that gay Mexican, you do you. But you are not welcome here. And onwards and upwards. Thank you. All right, I want to get to, we have so much. Trump signed the Epstein bill, a little more from Stacey Plaskett. Did you guys see Jasmine Crockett make a complete fool of herself? Especially because Lee Zeldin embarrassed her. This was some funny stuff. So I will get to, we'll get to that. By the way, you know what I realized yesterday? But they're still melting down over Quiet Piggy.
Oh, that's just
the
so
amount
funny.
of people that I have been told to go F myself by because I think Quiet Piggy is funny it's actually great. It's actually great. It elicited the amount of whining and meltdowns that I really desperately wanted to elicit just to see if that would work. But you know what's funny? They said Donald Trump never should have called the reporter a pig. Right? Never should have called her. That's it. That's a terrible thing. Remind me, 2020, Summer of Love. Did they not chant to and at police officers and about police officers, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon? Did they not say that about cops? So you can call cops pigs, but we can't call a reporter pigs? F you. Okay? Just, you can take that and you could shove it all the way up your rear end because we know you're into that type of thing.
Well, their party tried to assassinate him.
Exactly.
And also assassinated Charlie Kirk. He's just using words. They're
Right.
using violence.
Well, one guy came in out. He was like, "Well, the rhetoric's out of control, right? You said the rhetoric's out of control because people on your side were getting attacked, but now you're using nasty rhetoric." Okay, so calling someone a pig is the same thing as calling them a fascist or a Nazi or inciting violence against them. These people are absolutely ridiculous. But this is the party. The left is the party of pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon, talking about police officers, right? Calling cops pigs, ACAB, that whole movement, right? But Donald Trump can't call a reporter piggy. Nope, can't do it. So you can hurl those types of insults at cops, but you can't hurl those types of insults at a member of the media. The member of the media probably more closely resembles a pig than the cop, by the way. And I don't mean just in the physical sense. Ugly inside and outside. All right, so we have... We've got a little bit of that. I've got this. They also were now apparently, they were encouraging members of the military to defy orders from President Trump. I want you to rack your brain on this for a second because we're going to take a trip down memory lane back into, June. Do you remember someone else encouraging members of the military to defy orders? Think. You could let it flow in the chat. Think. I think Brennan knows. And you could tell me, I'll ask you back. We'll do a follow-up in about 30 or 40 seconds. This way you don't give the chat the answers. I love doing pop quizzes. Yeah. Pop quizzes are fun. All right. A little bit on Larry Summers coming out of resigning from OpenAI. Representative Jim Banks Also, a really good proposal that he's trying to push through. A Democrat representative from Florida has been indicted for stealing money from FEMA, so we'll get to that as well. Updates on Elise Stefanik and Kathy Hochul and CARE, the Council for American Islamic Relations. They were paying college students. We have that update on something Chris Rose is trying to get done. We have a lot to get to. We got to run through it. But before we do that, I want to talk to you about our friends. Whoa. Our friends over at, sometimes the coffee just doesn't sit right. These are one of those times. Our friends over at OFP Farms, folks. This is an exciting update from the farms. Holiday gifts are now available. This holiday season, OFP Farms has assembled a wide variety of gift sets that are ready for shipping. Famous for their exceptional gift sets, and they have plenty to choose from that fit the budget. But that's not it. That's not it. Here's the biggest news about the gift sets. You guys know the OFP Farms gift sets are amazing, whether it's Mother's Day, they did a Father's Day one. The inauguration one was my favorite. It looked like a package that would be delivered to the White House, right? The inauguration gift set, that was amazing. The best part about those gift sets, folks, is right now they got the Black Friday, Friday of Color sale, and they're offering not 15, they're going go big, go home, double down, 30% off for Black Friday at OFP Farms. And that sale starts today. Load up on those Christmas gift sets for her, wellness boxes, beard and bath sets, all of it. Go to OFPfarms.com. Stock is limited. You know how it goes. OFPfarms.com and use that promo code SHAWN and you get 30, not 15, but 30% off of your entire order. Let the little OFP elves assemble your gift sets for you. They got these little beautiful little elves. You know that? They're great people. Beautiful elves and goats. We love the goats. So head over to OFPfarms.com. Use that code Sean, 30% off of your entire order. You get the holiday gift sets that are out there. It's not just the gift sets, though. 30% off of everything you order on the website. That's OFPfarms.com, OFPfarms.com. Oscar, Foxtrot, Papa, you see it right there on your screen. OFPfarms.com. As I use, by the way, right now the caramel and cocoa Goat Kisses lip balm. I feel like I'm eating a Tootsie Roll or drinking hot chocolate every time we do it. 30% off. Dane's X2 is like, wow, 30%? Yes, 30% off. OFPfarms.com, OFPfarms.com, OFPfarms.com. Next up, a word from our friends over at Silent, folks. Face it, your phone, I love it. It's one of my favorite things. Do a lot of business with it, but it is, unfortunately, a tracking device. Why is this not working? Your phone that's great. That's just wonderful. There we go. Good there. That's a little better late than, now we're going back and forth.
Well, you pushed it a couple times.
Well, yeah, but it shouldn't be going back and forth. Better late than never. I guess it's not going to work today. Fine, whatever. Your phone is a tracking device, folks. Silent. Government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals, they are all looking for a piece of your data. They all want a piece of that digital footprint. And the worst part about the whole thing is that they don't ask. They just go on and take it. That is why Silent exists. They make Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, like cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communication. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. It is the same technology that has been trusted by special ops teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, it is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. All you got to do is drop your phone in a Silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent, and invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Visit slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN, to save 15% and get free shipping on qualifying orders. That is silent.com, slnt.com, Sierra Lima November Tango.com/Sean, SHAWN. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Silent.com. Silence the chaos and go silent today. Let's see if this works now. It's not working. That's just phenomenal. Why did that happen? It's not where we want to be. That's certainly not where we want to be. Why is it not working? What happened between literally 10 minutes ago and now? There we go. we're trying to work out the kinks. We got it. We fixed it. All right. Brennan, did the chat?
They got it before I had a chance to say.
They got it. What did they say?
It was Candace Owens.
Yes.
Obviously.
That is correct. That is correct. So we have Nick Fuentes endorsing socialism and Candace Owens saying now, back in June, she said what the Democrats are saying here in November about defying orders from the military. Great job. We always say we have the smartest audience. We have the smartest, great people, smart people, handsome people, tremendous people. Let's get into this, though, folks. Donald Trump has signed the Epstein bill. He has signed the Epstein Transparency Act and is now, folks, seatbelts, okay? Brace, because it is going, the bill has been signed, and it is now headed to the black hole known as Pam Bondi's desk.
They're going to find everything on Oak Island.
The Epstein files are at the bottom. By the way, last night, Tuesday's episode was phenomenal. And it looks like next Tuesday, they're going to find something in the Solution Channel, a piece of a silver coin. And I'm like,
a silver coin.
A piece of that's the first treasure, baby. All right. Listen, you guys can hate on the acorns all you want. We are dedicated. We will be here until they turn that whole island upside down. And if we can annex Canada,
they need to do that. They need to pick it up and
pick it up and turn it over.
Shake it.
Yeah. Canada becomes our 51st state, then we'll get to the bottom of Oak Island like this. Trump will get to the bottom of it. Donald Trump is signing that. He has signed the Epstein bill. He released a huge, very long statement on Truth Social. He said, "Do not forget the Biden administration did not turn over a single file or page related to Democrat Epstein, nor did they ever speak about him. For 4 years, our great nation has had to endure Russia, Ukraine, impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, and many other Democrat-created witch hunts and scams, all of which have been so terrible and divisive for our country and have been done to confuse, deflect, and distract from the great job that Republicans and the Trump administration are doing." The president continued, "This latest hoax will backfire on the Democrats, just as all of the rest have. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again." Now, again, Donald Trump is not referring to the Epstein files, the actual details, the actual revelations as a hoax. Donald Trump is referring to the sudden Democrat interest in Jeffrey Epstein as the hoax. The hoax that they have put forth is that he's covering something up. The hoax that they have put forth is that Donald Trump is implicated somehow criminally in the Epstein files, and that's why Bondi botched the release. That's what they're saying. That is the hoax. It is not true. Again, if Donald Trump was criminally implicated in the Epstein files, do you think someone like James Comey or John Brennan or James Clapper or Hillary Clinton or Andrew McCabe or Peter Strzok or Lisa Page, oh, Peter, I love you, Lisa, I love you too. Do you think any of these people would have wasted a second on an unverifiable bullcrap dossier from Christopher Steele trying to tie Donald Trump to Russia? Of course not. If they had evidence in the Epstein files that they had access to, sitting in the FBI, sitting in the Southern District of New York, if they had evidence of Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form implicated in wrongdoing with Jeffrey Epstein, they're not going to waste their time with any of that nonsense. They're not going to waste their time trying to twist Donald Trump's words about very fine people or hyperventilating over a joke that Tony Hinchcliffe made about Puerto Rico in the final days of the campaign. He called it a floating island of garbage. Oh my gosh. You think you're going to hyperventilate over a joke if there's evidence that Donald Trump, diddled a kid somewhere? There's no chance. There's no chance, right? So that is the hoax. The hoax is the sudden Democrat interest in the Epstein files. The hoax is the idea that somehow got planted in the minds of not just folks on the left, but obviously you have the woke right. Donald Trump is defending pedophiles. That is the hoax. Nobody has defended pedophiles more than the Democrats, including Stacey Plaskett, who recently was like, no, it's okay. I should be talking to Jeffrey Epstein. Listen to what she said. Yesterday I got a phone call from a constituent. This is such nonsense. And this is why I think it's about to massively backfire on the Democrats. I think so. 89%. This was from Right Angle News yesterday on X. 89% of Jeffrey Epstein's donations have been to Democrats. 89%. So there's 11% of Republicans got some Epstein's money. 89% of his donations went to Democrats. You think this is going to backfire on Trump? They just made for months the biggest stink. They just made the month for months. The biggest deal over, well, Donald Trump's in this picture, and he wrote Epstein potentially a letter. And, Epstein talked about him. And so they're trying to make the connections. 89% of Epstein's donations went to Dems. There's going to be a lot more damaging information that comes out about Democrats and Jeffrey Epstein than that's going to come out, if any, about Donald Trump and Epstein. But here is Stacey Plaskett defending her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Listen.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth. Having a friendship with him is not something that I would deem to have. And so I'm just looking forward. I'm moving forward. And I think that that's what we as American people should do, is move forward. If individuals
whoa, stop. We're going to play the full clip in a minute. I'm just moving forward. Oh, yeah, you caught me texting a convicted sex offender, but we should just move on. Okay, Stacey Plaskett. So you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar, and they're like, hey, Representative Plaskett, it looks like you're stealing cookies. Well, I'm stealing them, but let's just move on. Let's go on to something else. What? No, we're not going to move on. You guys turned this into a spectacle. You're the one who brought this hoax out into the light, right? Saying Donald Trump's covering something up. He said, oh, we're not covering up anything. As a matter of fact, here you go. Have it all. We're getting all this information out now. We find out that you, Stacey Plaskett, were texting Jeffrey Epstein during a congressional hearing. Well, he was just my constituent. And yeah, I'm just ready to move on from that. Oh, of course you are, because you're getting bad PR from it. Here's the full clip.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth. Having a friendship with him is not something that I would deem to have. And so I'm just looking forward. I'm moving forward. And I think that that's what we as American people should do, is move forward. If individuals are not involved in illegal activity, extending his criminal enterprise or his financial enterprise or all of those things, I think that we need to look at what people are doing moving forward.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes, and as a prosecutor...
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people who've done a lot of crimes. So, talking to a criminal isn't a bad thing, except that the types of crimes, we're not talking about ripping the tag off a mattress here. Okay, this guy's a sex offender. He pled guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor. But she's like, yeah, there's people commit crimes all the time. What's the big deal? Not all crimes are created equal. That's number one. You see, she tried to Obi-Wan. These aren't the droids you're looking for. You don't need to see his identification. Move along. All right? I mean, she's trying to Jedi mind trick everybody into doing that. Oh, as Jabba the Hutt said, weak-minded fool, she's using the Jedi mind trick. He said it, of course, in Jabba-ese. But you see how Plaskett, you see what she's trying to do here? Oh, she said, sugar honey eyes. Oh, Captain Shitties. I got caught with my pants down. Move along. You guys don't see anything. Just, we're moving forward now. We don't want to look. It's like when the Democrats lost the election and Trump was like, that we're going to get to the bottom of the crooked DOJ. They were like, well, we should just move forward. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, sure. They have no shame. These people have no shame. They have no shame. Including, by the way, I have to play this clip from Crockett, the new leader of the Democrat Party. She thought she got a bunch of Republicans. Jeffrey Epstein donated to Lee Zeldin. Did you know that? Well, a man named Jeffrey Epstein donated to Lee Zeldin. But listen to this clip. Let me just show you this.
You talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people that
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled. And that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein.
So then why did you bring him up? Oh, boy. Guys. And that's another one. I didn't really say that. This is even better. Jasmine Crockett said that he never took responded to Lee Zeldin saying that he never took donations from that Jeffrey Epstein. Lee responded this morning, or this might have been late last night, but I saw it this morning. And he said, when you find yourself in a hole, it's best to stop digging. The public FEC report Crockett referenced on the House floor very clearly states that the Jeffrey Epstein who donated to my past campaign was a physician, and the donation date was well after the other Jeffrey Epstein was already dead. Well, I never said it was that. Well, why'd you bring it up anyway? You brought up a person who donated to Lee Zeldin after the Jeffrey Epstein that you were trying to link to Lee Zeldin was dead. And there were people who were like, oh, Jasmine Crockett, stunning and brave. Stunning and brave. I mean, just stupid and belligerent is probably a better descriptor of Jasmine Crockett. Oh, I never said it was the Jeffrey Epstein. I just said a Jeffrey Epstein. For that reason, I just don't spout out lies. Well, it was a Jeffrey Epstein, yeah. There are a lot of people probably named Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein's a very common last name.
But everyone knows what she did.
But everyone knows what she was trying to do.
Everyone literally knows.
Everyone knows what she was trying to do. And then Lee Zeldin coming out and saying, and by the way, the donation date was after the bad Jeffrey Epstein already died. Stupid. What a dope. I mean, and then she's sitting on. Did you see the deer in the headlights look though? Remember when Kamala was asked, "What are you going to do to bring prices down?" And she was like, on the Oprah show. Did you see her deer in the headlights look here? One more time.
George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people that...
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey.
She was like, oh, crap, I got caught in a lie. That's just, these aren't the droids you're looking for either. Stop looking for droids. The Democrats are like, stop looking for droids. You're not even looking for... They've gone past Obi-Wan's, these aren't the droids you're looking for. They're like, hey, you're not even looking for droids. Just talk about something else. Well, I'm sorry, but all you guys wanted to talk about for months was Epstein. Donald Trump's covering up the Epstein files. Mike Johnson's covering up the Epstein file. Now we're about to get it out, and you're making fools of yourselves, and you're like, on second thought, let's not talk about Epstein, shall we? Give me a break. Of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. All right. Let me take a quick breath and a quick break. And a quick sip. Gulp. And we'll get back to some more Epstein stuff in a minute, like James Comer talking about some of this information. The Clintons, are they defying subpoenas? Oh, Steve Bannon did that once, and he went to jail. So if nobody is above the law, as our friend says, right? Which one is our friend? Nobody's above the law, is it? Nope. That's Chewbacca. They're all coming out today. If nobody's above the law, then... All right, so we'll see what James Comer wants to do. I want to get to the Democrats with this defying the military thing. Stephen Miller's comments on that. Obviously, we'll compare and contrast that to one crazy Candace. I don't know, but I know, Oh, well, you never really know, but when they know, because we lay up our eggs on the beach and then cuckoo, they make their way back to the big old blue. And then he's like, Marlon's like, how do you know when they're ready? Well, you never really know, but when they know, you know. Totally. All right, let's get to a word from our friends over at Old Glory Bank. On behalf of Old Glory Bank, this is your favorite president. And I'm here to tell you about Old Glory Bank. They're a great bank. They are the premier bank for faith and for freedom. You've heard me talk about how the big crooked banks debanked me and our beautiful First Lady following the rigged election of 2020. Thankfully, there's a bank that loves me as much as I do. Old Glory Bank. They don't debank Americans who love their country and honor the Constitution. That's right. You guys know all about it. Old Glory Bank. I talk about Old Glory Bank all the time. They are America's best online bank that serves customers and small businesses in all 50 states. I'm a customer. My wife is a customer. They have everything you need to bank online, including free accounts, free overdraft protection, early direct deposit, home loans, VA loans, and business loans. That is why Old Glory Bank quickly grew from $10 million to over $225 million in deposits. Your money is your business, ladies and gentlemen. So I encourage you to open up an account at oldglorybank.com. Free accounts, you can open them up in minutes. That's oldglorybank.com. If you're down with OGB, head over to oldglorybank.com and set up a free account over there today. You will not regret it. Get in the habit of being on the right side of banking. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it's all about. It's Captain Shitties. We love Captain Shitties. Captain Shitty's Southwest salsa is not just a dip. Most salsas, they're just a dip. They get watery. Nasty. Very nasty. We don't like that. It is a high seas adventure for your taste buds. Avast, ye landlubbers! The captain bellows from the jar. Inside, treasure awaits. A booty of bold jalapenos, swashbuckling onions, and a gold mine of ripe tomatoes. This chunky, briny concoction is rumored to be forged from salvaged doubloons and pirateers. One taste, and you'll be singing shanties and walking the plank for more. It's got a spicy swagger that would make Blackbeard blush and a tangy zest. Dive in, if you dare, to Captain Shitty's Liquid Gold. Captain Shitty's Liquid Gold. It is the best salsa in the market. Ahoy, mateys! What would you do with a drunken sailor? Give him Captain Shitty's until he's sober. CaptainShitty's.com. CaptainShitty's.com. Check out the salsa. Check out the meat sticks. Check out the merch. They got the coolers. They've got the stadium seat. They've got the koozies. CaptainShitty's.com. CaptainShitty's.com. Ron Juan 96 says, I set up my accounts this week at Old Glory Bank. Great job, Ron Juan 96. We love you, and we'd love to see more people say that they've done that over at Old Glory Bank as well. All right, let's move on to James Comer and the Clintons, shall we? James Comer and the Clintons. He had some remarks about them. Apparently, they're kind of like, we don't want to provide our depositions about Epstein, even though they've been subpoenaed by the House. Listen to James Comer.
Mr. Chairman, there are two very important people that you subpoenaed early on, that you asked to voluntarily cooperate. They didn't schedule their interviews. Now there's a subpoena. But Bill and Hillary Clinton, if they continue to duck you, will you take them to court? Will you try to enforce a subpoena? Will you go the Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro route?
100%. We're going to go that route. We expect to hear from Bill and Hillary Clinton. Look, Donald Trump's answered questions for years about Jeffrey Epstein. Every day he gets asked questions about Epstein, and he answers them in front of the American people. We've subpoenaed Republicans and Democrats. Two Republicans have come forward, Bill Barr and Alex Acosta. They did interviews and deposition, and those were tough, but they did them. They didn't back down. Other Democrats have sent letters that saying they knew nothing about Epstein, which would hold in court if something ever comes out that they did know something, then they've committed perjury there. But the Clintons have never responded. They're the one group in this investigation that's never had to answer questions in front of a credible reporter, and they've never certainly answered questions from attorneys or members of Congress. So we expect the Clintons to come in, or I expect the Clintons to be met with the same fate that Bannon and Navarro were met with when the Democrats were in control.
And that's the way it has to be. And I don't want to hear that he expects that these things are going to happen. I want to hear that these things are going to happen. And then if they are on the table, if the Clintons do defy the subpoenas, then they need to go to jail, like Steve Bannon, like Peter Navarro. Period. End of story. If we do believe nobody's above the law, like the Democrats have said, then if the Clintons defy these subpoenas and don't respond, they're not above the law. They can't do that. And it's going to be up to Pam, the desk, Bondi, and the rest of Republicans to actually hold these Democrats accountable. The problem is Republicans just never seem to be interested in doing that. Well, let's just take the high road and move on, right? So you take the high road with a group that wants to kill you, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. All right, so that's where we're at on Epstein, the bill. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. That bill has been signed, and now Bondi has 30 days to turn over the information. And there's going to be redactions, and we told you, what's unfortunately going to be the talking point around every black rectangle. That's the evidence. That's the evidence that's Donald Trump. That's the evidence that it's Israel. So you're going to get that from the left, the woke left, and the woke right. And as far as everyone calling it horseshoe theory, it's not a theory anymore. The right, the woke right, and the woke left are spouting identical talking points. Between Nick Fuentes saying we need to work with the socialists, the nationalists and socialists have to work together, to Candace Owens a couple of months ago with the dishonorable discharge thing. Let me play for you Stephen Miller's. Well, let me play the Democrats' video that they made. They put a Democrat video. The Democrats did. They put a video out, essentially telling members of the military, your commander in chief, don't listen to him if you don't want to. Which, you really shouldn't be doing. Okay, watch this.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Don't give up the ship. You must refuse illegal orders. You can refuse illegal orders. You must refuse illegal orders. One of us, right? iRobot, one of us. These aren't the droids you're looking at. What is with the Jedi mind tricks today with the Democrats?
The Democrats are the party of brainwashing.
They did. That's exactly what I felt like there. Yeah. If I was saying, you must review, you must refuse, you can refuse, you must refuse, you can refuse, you must. I can refuse, I must refuse. I mean, phew. So here's Stephen Miller's response to that. Stephen Miller, obviously, one of the most articulate and, I believe, passionate speakers and members of the Trump administration. Listen to his response.
It is insurrection, plainly, directly, without question. And when you have one of the lawmakers on that video being unable to state in, as you say, lengthy cross-examination, a single so-called illegal order, it just proves the point. It's a general call for rebellion from the CIA and the armed services of the United States by Democrat lawmakers, saying that you have not only the right, but the duty and the obligation to defy orders of the commander-in-chief, that those who carry weapons in America's name should defy their chain of command and engage in open acts of insurrection that the CIA, the clandestine service, which isn't even legally authorized to operate in the United States, should engage in, again, acts of rebellion and insurrection. These lawmakers should honestly resign in disgrace and never return to public office again for even daring to think, let alone to say these words and to say them proudly. But it shows what a dangerous moment we're in. We have seen the Democratic Party nurse the flames of violence and insurrection against the federal government for the last 10 months. When you see this continuous campaign of violence against ICE officers and Border Patrol agents, when you see Democrat sanctuary politicians and Democrat sanctuary governors side with the rioters, side with the assaulters over federal law enforcement, and that spills even into juries and grand juries, when you see Democrat jurors engage in nullification to let off violent attackers who are engaging in physical violence, physical assault against federal officers. This is a dangerous moment. You have a political party, an organization, the Democrat Party, and their message is that any action, no matter how unlawful, no matter how dangerous, no matter how much it threatens constitutional order, is justified if it keeps Democrat policies in effect at any cost.
I couldn't have said it better than Stephen Miller, although I have been trying all morning. You can refuse illegal orders. You must refuse illegal orders, right? Let me take a flashback and show you again, and you guys can write me your apologies if you are out there who said, don't criticize Candace Owens. How dare you? Thou shalt not criticize Candace. Stop the infighting. The infighting. It's infighting.
Being so weak that really upsets you. Like
gosh. The Karens
calling
of the
someone
world.
out.
Infighting. Stop infighting.
What a little weak weenie.
Okay. So I've told you that the woke left and the woke right, and I'm not alone on this, but on this show, right, I've told you that the woke left and the woke right they're shaking hands, they're working together. As Nick Fuentes said they should, right? The woke left, the progressive left, the socialist left, and the woke right. The America-only nationalist. It's okay to be a nationalist and say, I want to put my country first, but you can't do America only, because then China will fill our void in the rest of the world, and you have a much bigger problem because they are our greatest threat right now. The greatest threat is not the Jews. It's externally China, internally the spread of Islam in America, period. That's in terms of politics and society, those are our two biggest threats. You've got education up there too. So you had that video from the Democrats, right? You must refuse illegal orders.
I'm
this
Senator
one.
Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative.
Orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
Yeah, we know this is hard. And that sounds a lot like what Candace Owens said back in June, doesn't it?
LG19 writes, serious question, will there be jobs or community military members can join when I get a dishonorable discharge for not contributing to delete people or my body for the interests of a certain foreign nation benefit? I love this question. I do believe that if war in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so, get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? Why should you go die in a foreign land? You now have the benefit of 2020. You can see, think about those men and those women who died because they were pitched that they were serving their country because there were weapons of mass destruction, right? They were serving their country because the Taliban, they were serving their country, whatever, and these people gave up their lives. And ask yourselves, for what? And the answer to that question is for the elites. They're like toy soldiers. And I would have said a few weeks ago that Trump would never do that to you. He would never just throw you into an Israeli war. But right now, our planes are flying in the sky, and things are going nuclear. So I don't have that confidence anymore. And I'm comfortable with people being dishonorably discharged because the dishonor has come from our politicians. The dishonor has come from our politicians who routinely lie in our faces and are willing to let us die to serve their financial interests. So why don't they dishonorably discharge themselves from public office?
Yeah, go get dishonorably discharged. Don't worry about that employers and, that it sticks out on your background check that people look at it like a felony. Yeah, just get it. Who cares? She said, just get it. Get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Yeah, whatever. Our planes are flying in the sky. That's generally where planes fly, Candace. If our planes are flying underwater, I think then we maybe have an issue. Annette Smith just said the same thing. Planes are flying in the sky. Oh my gosh. It's like, it's cold in the winter. It's climate change. No. If I get a day in, February and it's 95 degrees, I may go, all right, Al Gore might have been onto something.
Unless you're in Florida.
Right. Anyway, where that wouldn't, Florida, that type of thing is somewhat normal. Yeah. But if you're in here, Tennessee, or up in New York, there was like one Christmas day or Christmas Eve, it was like 75 degrees and foggy in New York once because of El Nino. And people were like, see, it's climate. I was like, no, it's not climate. It's El Nino. And you are El Stupido. Look at it. The Democrats defy the orders. Candace, defy the orders. It's not infighting.
You're not my enemy.
If you're on the left, you're not my enemy. Oh, okay.
And then she said something about recently that I've never been on your side.
Right. She said that to Seth Dillon. I've never been on your side.
To a conservative, right?
Right. Yes, very much so. Right. Yeah. Never mind.
So she has told us who she is. People just aren't listening.
Or they're listening and they're like, you're taking her words out of context. No.
When someone tells you who they are,
believe them. All right. I need an actual break, so I'm going to play a word from our friends over at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA, and then we'll get to, this show flies by really, really crazy every morning. It's like I add too much stuff to the rundown and I never get to it. I got to get to the FEMA story, though. So, here's a word from our friends at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Harrell here. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about gold and silver. When I was a kid, I always wondered what Fort Knox must look like. And when I was a kid, I always envisioned that when you would walk into Fort Knox, you would see just gold everywhere, literally raining gold, kind of like what you see behind me right now. Unfortunately, as a grown-up, I don't have that kind of imagination anymore, and I don't even have that much trust that Fort Knox has the 5,000 tons of gold that we're supposed to have there. Meaning that decades ago, we went off the gold standard in this country, which took the value of our dollar down to just mere pennies. And since our federal government doesn't want to go back to a gold standard currency, then it's time to us to take matters into our own hands. Have you ever thought about buying gold and silver? Have you ever thought about taking portions of your IRA or your 401k or your nest egg or your savings and putting it into gold and silver, either all or a portion of it? Have you ever wanted to purchase silver like this in bullion or premium? I know I do. And I know I wanted to take matters back into my own hands, which is why I have worked with Golden Crest Metals to do that. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA is going to be your go-to, absolutely transparent and trusted partner. Now, you can go to that website or you can call 888-308-4202. And what the good thing about this is they're going to guide you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to guide you. They're going to give you all the answers to your questions. And there's going to be no hidden fees. It's completely transparent. No hidden fees. No pressure, no surprise markups whatsoever. Clients get to see everything before they purchase. They've even agreed to lower the minimum investment to the LFA audience in order to make sure that everybody has access to this. Free IRA storage, free insured shipping, and a full range of precious metals from gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And if it's easier for you to just maybe click a QR code, well, guess what? We've got that available for you too. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Click this QR code on your screen and it'll take you right there. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. Again, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA, or call 888-308-4202 today to reach these guys. They're going to be a great partner for you, just as they have been for me, and we absolutely recommend here at LFA TV, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA.
Thank you, Golden Crest Metals. Thank you, Jeremy, for being a part of the show. What is going on today, and why are we not at Mo time at 9:52 in the morning?
We're a little late.
You know what I'm going to do? What we're gonna do is we're gonna move the goalposts now. Okay. So today, because we're going to get to 800 so late. Tomorrow it's 900 for regular Mo. This is how we do it. We don't want to get put in timeout.
You guys did.
Look what you did.
Look what
See
you
that?
did. Bad Moon can be mad at you guys.
See that? It's not me. I didn't do it. If we had hit Mo at 9:30, I would have honked them. But we're still not there. We got 8 minutes to go. So tomorrow it's 900 for regular Mo. Yeah, won't make that mistake again. All right, here we go. This is a wild story. Okay. Democrat Congresswoman Sheila Sher-Phyllis McCormick indicted for stealing $5 million in FEMA funds. The Democrats would never do that. They would never steal. They would never commit fraud. They would never do that. Democrat Congresswoman Sheila Sher-Phyllis McCormick was indicted by a federal grand jury for stealing $5 million in FEMA funds, according to the Justice Department. Representative Sher-Phyllis McCormick and her brother Edwin Sher-Phyllis allegedly stole $5 million in FEMA funds and funneled it through different accounts to pay for the defendant's 2021 congressional campaign. So she used FEMA money, allegedly, to fund her campaign. Sheila Sher-Phyllis McCormick is facing up to 53 years in prison if convicted. Quote, using disaster relief funds for self-enrichment is a particularly selfish and cynical crime, said Attorney General Pam Bondi. No one is above the law, cock-a-doodle-doo. Least of all powerful people who rob taxpayers for personal gain will follow the facts in this case and deliver justice. Now, if what they're saying here is in fact true, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Did we hit Mo today?
Yes, honk that hog.
Yeah, we hit it
Honk
about a day
that
late.
hog.
There you go. There's Mo. I want to get to the Jim Banks story tomorrow. Okay, Jim Banks wants to make it easier to prosecute illegal employers who hire illegal aliens. So we're going to get to that one tomorrow. Larry Summers, people with nothing to hide.
Hide stuff.
Yes, people with nothing to hide stuff, right? Obviously, that's the joke that we have on this show. People with nothing to hide generally hide nothing. So why is Larry Summers, who was on the board of OpenAI, why is he resigning from the board of OpenAI after these Epstein emails came out? If people with nothing to hide nothing. That's because he's got something to hide, and he is currently right now trying to hide stuff.
I was just ahead of the time.
Way ahead of the times. In line with my announcement to step away from my public commitments, I've also decided to resign from the board of OpenAI. Lawrence Summers has announced he's resigning from OpenAI's board of directors. This comes after Congress released emails showing that the former Treasury Secretary had regularly communicated with Jeffrey Epstein in the late 2010s. Again, the late 2010s, that is after he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from a minor. Why are all these people still talking to Jeffrey Epstein after he was convicted and pled guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor? Makes no sense, unless, of course, they're okay with that type of thing. And they say, well, anything we can do to get power, like the money from Jeffrey Epstein, the influence that comes from that type of money and that type of funding, if we can do that and we can obtain that, then it really doesn't matter. Who cares? We'll be on the side of pedophiles for a while. And that is the Democrats' modus operandi. The correspondence with Epstein took place between 2017 and 2019, with many conversations surrounding Summers talking to Epstein about a woman in London. In one series of emails between Summers and Epstein on March 16th, 2019, Summers wrote, "We talked on the phone. Then I can't talk later. Didn't think I can talk tomorrow. Or don't think I can talk tomorrow, sorry. I said, what are you up to? She said, I'm busy. I said, awfully coy you are. And then I said, did you really rearrange the weekend we were going to be together because guy number 3 was coming? She said, no, his schedule changed after we changed our plans. I said, okay, I got to go. Call me when you feel like it. Tone was not of good feeling. I don't want to be in a gift-giving competition while being the friend without benefits." Epstein replied, "She's smart, making you pay for past errors. Ignore the daddy. I'm going to go out with the motorcycle guy. You reacted well. Annoying shows caring. No whining showed strength." Gross.
You know what I don't like?
Gross.
Just a side note. Child prostitute.
Yeah.
I don't like that. They're literally just sex trafficking a minor and you're like raping them.
Yeah. Soliciting prostitution from a minor. Yeah.
It's just raping them.
It's raping minors. Yeah.
That's what they should.
It's statutory rape. Yeah.
Yeah, because child prostitution makes it sound a little more adult.
Well, yes,
not.
and it's a lesser.
Like that.
It's like a lesser charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point of Epstein got a sweetheart deal in 2008, and had a lot of his crimes knocked down. Alex Acosta.
Minors is what
exactly.
You're doing.
It's exactly what it is. That's exactly. You're not soliciting prostitution from a child.
Can't decide to be a prostitute.
Right. Well, nobody technically in Vegas.
Well,
you can,
yes, grown people can.
Well, It's illegal.
It's illegal, but you can still do that.
Well, right.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
But they
Well,
can decide. But children can't decide that for
right.
themselves.
CARE, the Council or the Center for American Islamic Relations, they gave out $1,000 to college students who were involved in those pro-Hamas demonstrations. So all the people who are like, you're paid by AIPAC, you're paid by AIPAC, how's that money? Where are you guys at? Anybody? Tumbleweed coming through. Anybody out there? Wah, wah. It's a ghost town. CARE caught handing out $1,000 checks to campus, as they call them, anti-Semites. I call them pro-Hamas. Which radical Muslim group was doing this, you asked? The Council on American Islamic Relations. A new report from the Network Contagion Research Institute and the Intelligent Advocacy Network confirms that CARE, and specifically its California chapter, was cutting checks to students who face penalties or disciplinary consequences for their pro-Hamas campus activism. I was told the only people who do that are AIPAC and Jews. I guess that was a lie as well. Okay. We're going to have a bunch jammed into tomorrow. That Jim Banks story is pretty cool. I still need to get to the Chris Rose story because I want to give that enough time, not just 30 seconds at the end of the show, which is really cool, what he's trying to do out there in West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. Little update on Stefanik and anything else that happens today. Also, by the way, tomorrow, Zoran the Moron is visiting the White House. So Donald Trump will be hosting Zoran the Moron Mamdani, and that should be very interesting. So don't miss that tomorrow either. That's going to be happening, I'm sure, at some point throughout the day. Before we go, head over to the LFA TV store, LFATV.us, LFATV.us, LFATV.us. Hit that LFA TV store tab, scroll down. Go to the right-hand portion of the screen, hit Visit the Store. And then you will see all of the products that are offered right at the LFA TV store. Some of them are sold out, but most of them are in stock, ready to go for holiday season. LFATV.us, 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 or JeremyHerrell.com/store. You got Live from America coming up next right here on LFA TV as President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never, ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And by the way, a special congratulations to the great Michael Patrick Leahy and the Tennessee Star and the team of the Tennessee Star. They won an award yesterday, the Dow Award for Best Local Journalism with the Tennessee Star. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I'm on Newsmax a little later at 5:30 in the words of John Fetterman. Bang gavel. Good night, everybody. Even though it's still technically morning. But this is John Fetterman. He doesn't know what's going on. And in the words of our great president, thank you for your attention to this matter. Live from America is next. We'll see you tomorrow morning.